We're going to start in seated, so you can use your block if you'd like, in any comfortable position. Yeah, anything that's comfortable, and you can just sit nice and tall and shut down your eyes and just take a few moments just to simply land in your breath and in your body sensations before we get into any postures. And just let this be a few moments of inviting your attention here away from whatever else you've been involved in so far today. And just give yourself just a few more breaths here, and whenever you're ready, you can just take whatever stretch you want to take, maybe just to stretch up, to just eventually make your way into child's pose. So any movement that you need before getting there. And just come into child's pose today with a little more curiosity than normal. So if you've done child's pose many times, there's an automatic coming into the posture, but I want you just to sort of investigate and notice the way you've chosen to land your feet. And if you have your feet pointed, just become aware of the stretch that happens in the front of your ankle here, and just feel that for a moment. And notice the automatic width that your knees landed in. So probably your knees landed wide enough to accommodate your rib cage. So just feel the connection between the way your legs are and the way your ribs are settling down and in. And I think all of you are wide enough here to really experience full deep breaths. So just take some full deep ujjayi breaths here and see if you can feel the movement of your ribs in connection with your legs. And then just to feel a contrast, take your knees in closer than you normally do. So maybe all the way in, but you don't have to go all the way in, but just I want you to feel the contrast of your knees connected with your ribs. And here, take some big breaths and notice the difference. Yeah, and you may choose a different arm position. So you might need to bend your elbows more or draw your arms back. And then you can just wiggle your knees back to what's comfortable, and we're just going to take a couple of breaths and move on. So go ahead and outstretch your arms and extend your hands and just take a full breath in here. And then a really long, complete breath to empty. And then just lift up to a tabletop position, so just right up to your hands and knees, and allow yourself a little bit of spinal movement here, so a little bit of cat-cow tilting and rounding. So just any movement here just to start loosening up your spine range of motion just a bit. And begin to, if you haven't yet, begin to start synchronizing your breath with your own movements. And so there's a purpose and a momentum with your inhale, and the same with your exhale. And now just make your way towards just neutral spine, so just tabletop position, and just a really detailed setting and movement into down dog in a moment. Just set your hands and spread your fingers wide, and hands a little wider than shoulder width distance is good. And then just tuck your toes under, and with your toes tucked under, just begin to draw your hips back, up and away as you push your hands forward, and go ahead and go. Lift yourself up into downward facing dog. And you might want a little bit of movement here too, so a little bit of bending one knee and then the other. And just imagine that you could see the upside down V shape of your body, so like a bold upside down V, and just let your body take on that quality. So from your hands to your hips, down through your legs. And just feel the sturdiness in your hands. And if it's not there, adjust them to where you feel super sturdy. And then the rooted quality of your feet, feel that. And then see if you can take little micro movements here to get a little more spaciousness in your spine. So you're tracking along the line from your fingertips all the way up through your hips. And you get a little more length in your spine. And you can just let your head free hang so the back of your neck is nice and soft. Take one full in-breath and let it be felt all the way through your backside ribs. And yeah, just pour the out-breath. And do it again. Take a full in-breath and a pouring of the out-breath. Let it go. And from here, lift your right leg up high behind you, spread your lifted toes, and bend this leg just to get a right side stretch. And just continue to let your head drop. Don't engage there at all. Just expand the distance between your right pinky finger and your lifted knee. So a little more space across your right armpit. And then on your next inhale, straighten this leg all the way back out. Then foot to the ground to match your breath. And go ahead, the other leg. Take your left leg up high. Bend it and reach and stretch your left side. Keep your breath momentum going. On an in-breath, straighten this leg all the way back out and up. Then to step to the top of your mat for a ragdoll pose. So with ragdoll, go ahead and try taking your feet really wide at first, and then you can change them if needed. So feet wide to the edges. Yeah, so you're letting your head shake and drop. It's always good. And if you don't feel like you can totally drop your head, see if you can get to where you can get that dropping sensation. And just notice here the relationship between how you're holding your legs and how your torso feels. So just experiment with bending your knees slightly more and see how that affects the sensation in your spine and the weight of your head. And you might choose to go back where you were. Just feel that. Now notice the weight of your arms and your shoulders, however you're holding them, and just let the weight of your arms be felt right in your shoulder sockets and in your upper back. And just take one more full in-breath here. And let your arms release if you have them lifted, let them drop. And then wiggle your feet together to a close touch position. Breathe into a halfway lift. Get a nice flat back. Fold down into your legs. And rise up. Let your hands lead the way straight up towards the ceiling. And then allow your arms to drop by your sides for a mountain pose, and let your hands, your palms just face forward, and just keep your breath moving here. And just get a really good sense, starting at your feet, of the evenness from left to right. So just notice across your toe line. And as you really drop into this experience, you might find that a slight different foot position or toe position might support your balance more. So notice that. Your feet don't have to be together. And then as you feel somewhat even in your feet, just start to take your awareness up your legs, and on your thighs, just have a little bit of an internal rotation. So you're drawing your inner thighs, just a slight engagement back and in. And then can you connect that engagement of your legs right into the pit of your belly, so there's a connectivity from your belly down to your heels. And then just shine bright across the center of your chest with your breath. Take a full in-breath here. And just let your breath go completely out. And then send your hands up. Take a long breath as a full body stretch. And forward fold, right down and in. Halfway lift with your breath. Then step back to downward facing dog. Just step right back into it. You'll just take one full in breath here. Feel the lines in your body as you take a full breath out. Then pull forward to a high push-up position and just lower all the way down to your belly. So you're going to land all the way down to the ground. And from here, interlace your hands behind you. Anybody need a towel or strap? And then from here, just go ahead and lift up. So you're just going to engage through your back body to lift your chest, your belly off the ground. Lift your legs up off the ground. And just let your breath provide a little bit of a rock front and back in your body. Take 2 more of your breaths. Your last inhale is that last final lift up. Then you just let it all go. Drop into the ground, take an ear to the ground, let your body rest for a moment. Now plant your hands outside of your chest and just peel yourself up into a cobra or into an upward facing dog. Just slowly make your way back into downward facing dog. And then just step your feet to the top of your mat to come onto your back. And just set up for bridge pose here. So just draw your feet in, kind of close, and just lift your bum right up off the ground, just to get a little bit of backward bend. And just feel the connection between the engagement of your feet and legs and the reach of your chest, and just try to make the posture just a little bit longer front to back. Just give it 2 more of your breaths. When you're there, you can just let it all go and just feel the connection of your spine all the way down into the ground, and just give it a full breath in and out, clearing here. And then draw your knees into your belly and chest and just wrap your arms around. So you just back bend in the opposite direction. Curl your forehead up towards your knees. And then just grab your thighs and just rock back and forth just a little bit here. And then just land in a single leg forward fold. So right leg straight forward, left leg bent. And just take a breath in as you expand and reach up to just reach forward towards your foot. And it's okay here if you want to let your spine round a bit. You'll get the sensation of your back stretch. And then go ahead and release and take the opposite leg. And just let the feeling of your breath guide you into how far to pull in. All right, and release this and just roll up. Come all the way back to your back, and we'll just take a twist on our back. So just hug. You can do one knee in, just right knee in, or both knees in. And take your leg over, or legs over to the left, look to the right. And just enjoy this easy, passive posture. Let your breath go natural. And go the other direction. And just keep tracking your breath as it slows and softens even more here. And then go ahead and roll back to center. Hug both of your knees in. Give yourself one last rounding, squeeze in, draw your forehead in. All right, then send your legs away and just take a big stretch and a big breath for final rest. Let all of your breath effort go. Let all of your body effort go. As you're ready, you just start to move a little bit to make your way to a side and then upright to seated. And you can draw your hands to your heart center if you'd like. Take a breath in all together. Full breath out. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.